Hey everyone, how you doing? Just want to give you a bit of an update since last month when we saw interest rates go up by both Bank of Melbourne and Westpac. They increased their rates by 14 basis points. Since then we've seen ANZ increase their rates by 16 basis points and CBA increase their rates by 15 basis points. So this is all on variable interest rates. So you'll see that fixed rates are still the same; they haven't changed. Whether that is expected to go up, I'm not sure. Haven't got my crystal ball at this point in time. Invariably they will do, but it's just when will they go up? The only Big Four bank not to increase their interest rates at this point in time is NAB. They've said the reason they haven't increased rates is because they want to rebuild trust since the Banking Royal Commission into misconduct with the banks. That's only going to be, I would estimate, for a short period of time. All the banks have increased their rates now, and really NAB are holding off the inevitable. It's going to happen, but if it saves a few dollars in the consumers' pockets, well, why not? And it will buy back a few favours. A couple of weeks ago, I had the privilege of sitting through an ANZ economist speak. There were a few negative things that I took out of that, and these are just a few of them. He said that wages growth is only at 2.1% at the moment, which is quite low, and due to people being heavily geared against property, mainly in the Sydney and Melbourne areas, they are very sensitive to any rate changes that could happen. Also, there has been an increase in utility bills, so your normal living expenses have increased as well. Plus, there is a bit of consumer confidence, or a lack of consumer confidence, due to the political unrest that we've had recently, change of Prime Minister. So that's also one of the negatives that's come out of it. But there are also some positives to take out of the economist speaking the other day. He said that unemployment is at 5.3%, and most of those jobs that are being created are full-time jobs as well. Go back 18 months ago, a lot of those jobs were actually part-time jobs, so that's a positive. There's an acceleration in the infrastructure investments that has been made by the governments, by the federal governments. We're seeing GDP growing by about 3.4%. That's underpinned by that infrastructure investment, so that a lot of the construction. We're also seeing commodity exports, as well as education and tourism being one of the big factors as to why our GDP is growing strongly at the moment. Population growth is also fast, especially in Victoria. We've seen a lot of immigration coming into Victoria. It's the fastest since the mid-1800s gold rush, wouldn't you know? We're seeing vacancy rates in Melbourne being very low at the moment. So even though some of those areas like the Docklands, where a lot of people have said in the past there's lots of empty apartments, it's not necessarily the case anymore. And actually we've got a very low vacancy rate right now. Default rates on home loans are also very low at the moment. We as a nation will always make sure that we repay our debts, and we'll pull back on areas of discretionary expense to make sure that we can continue to repay our home loans. The RBA are unlikely to make any changes to their interest rates for another 12 months. But let's not sit back on our laurels just yet. With most of the lenders these days getting a lot of their funding from the US, they are heavily linked to what the Federal Reserve in the United States does. So if the Federal Reserve increase their rates over the next 12 months, well, you can see interest rates going up here in Australia as well. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've seen recently that the property market has definitely softened, but the main reason being is due to the regulators scrutinising the banks and the lending practices, and really seeing credit tightening up within the lenders. That basically means that people can't borrow as much as they once were able to, and so therefore property prices it's naturally got to come down to meet the new market. But I think that's happened. I don't think we're going to see prices tumble. I think this is just a matter of just a leveling out. That's it from me. I hope you found this video of interest, and if it's left you with any questions unanswered, then please feel free to visit my website, adam-baker.com, and contact me through the contact page. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Stay safe and take care.